Welcome back. Um, Today we are doing the directed build um, by Streamer Redemption Points. But he doesn't seem to be in. Okay, just a moment. Well, I figure anything out. I feel like that's how it is sometimes. Everything is kind of not there. Oh, the technical difficulties. Um, but that's all right. Okay. I'll figure out what I'm doing eventually. Um, we have days 4 and 5 for the Advent. And I think we're also on a new coaster today. So somebody redeems, the first time somebody redeems a coaster today, it will be a new one. There's day 4. Okay, struggle bus all around today, apparently. And day 5. Okay. Let's see what day 4 is. How was everybody's Monday and so far today? I know I'm earlier than I normally am, um, but since I'm doing the directed build, I wanted to give myself a little extra time. So let's see what today's is. Okay, this looks like it goes into helping build like of the bigger thing, like the little house, and this looks like a little mantle place. Okay, here. The garbage will get in there one way or another. Okay, so I need this piece, 2 orange, and 2 yellow. Okay, the next step is this. 2 of these, and 2 of these. Let me know if the music is too loud and I will turn it down. It's one of those things I can't tell. I only know how loud it sounds to me. Okay. Sorry if you can hear it. My neighbors have like their lawn maintenance people there today. I'm not sure if you can hear it or not, but that's right. I'm just doing the Advent. I'm early today, so that to give myself plenty of time to work on your directed build. I'm just doing Advent right now, so you didn't really miss anything. And if I can get this to work without falling apart. Well, what kind of Myotic? Ooh, it's a dragon. Do I have a netball? I remember to do my pop out today so I can see what Pokeballs I have. I have a nest, but not a net. Let's try a Cypher Ball. Poke, Catch, Cypher Ball. So, this is day 4's. It's a little like fireplace. And the back side of it is directions that it helps when you take it apart. It helps to make this bigger kind of like little cottage. See if I can get it to show without like blaring out. So that will be like when you get this, all the other pieces, you can take it apart and help. It will help make this bigger thing. I'm gonna have 24 little mini things over here that I'm gonna have to then take apart and make something bigger with. Woohoo, I caught it. Okay, and then this one is today's, day 5. Like I said, you didn't really miss anything. I just fought with this to get it to open, or to get the days to open. They did not. It like ripped the whole. You can see I ripped the paper between them because it didn't want to. It didn't want to come off or open. Well, that's what happens, Kevin. You go into this like pokey drought, for lack of a better way to put it, and you don't catch anything, and then all of a sudden, boop, you're catching stuff all over again. That's how they keep us hooked. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out what this one is. Maybe like a mini shop? Like a mini store? And then it looks like it helps make some more of the bigger Santa. Yeah, it's a Poke Drought. I have been through many a Poke Drought. They're frustrating and annoying, and especially after like Carrot got that the info bot that tells you like which Pokemon or which Pokeballs to use to better catch, and then you're still not getting anything. That's super frustrating. It's like, okay, listen, buddy. Or you're using like Ultra Balls and stuff, and you still get nothing. It's very frustrating. But it is a Poke Drought. Okay, I'm doing this right. Yep. How has your day been so far? And your Monday? I did not get like anything to do on my to-do list done yesterday besides one load of laundry. Everything after that just kind of didn't happen. But today I'm doing a little better. I got just about everything on my to-do list done today. I mean, like I said, I've even had it happen like when you're using like the Poke Ultra Balls and stuff, and you still don't catch anything. Or use like literally every ball they recommend, but then still nothing. I think they do it to keep you addicted because you're like, oh, I'm getting bored. I literally catch everything. I'm going to stop playing. So instead, they have you go through Poke Droughts. This will keep them addicted to playing. And I think it works because we're all like, if I just keep trying, I'll start catching them again. Because sometimes I don't use any, like, if I'm not, like, if I don't really care whether I catch them or not, I'll just, really, I'll have to pick that up in a second. I'll just use regular Pokeballs. But like I said, I've had it happen using just plain Pokeballs and then literally like every special ball they recommend, and it still happens. So I don't think there's a true like rhyme or reason besides them, you know, trying to keep you like hooked on playing the game. Got some clean up our house, doing laundry, baking. Very productive today. That red block, ooh, went all the way to the back underneath my desk. I did laundry, and I got dinner in the crock pot, and I got my one load a day of laundry done. But I forgot to take the kids' books that needed to go back to the library with me when I went out, which was half the reason I went out. But I got almost to the grocery store and I forgot them. Damn it. Right? They need, because I imagine there's some kind of, I don't know, it's got to be profitable in some way for them. Even though you can't really spend money, it's just in some way has to be profitable. Or maybe they have to have so many people playing to keep the license, who knows? But they've got to keep you hooked on it in some way. Let's see if I can do this right. Okay, another thing. And another. This. Okay. No extras with this one. They just want you to do this with the red in the middle like a wreath. When we went to IKEA on Saturday, I did pick up some kind of smaller kind of red ornament balls to put. I have to go to the dollar store now and get like a either like a fish bowl or like the small vases to put those little red baubles in, and then I can put them in the middle of my wreath that I made because everybody was like, "You need some red now," so I found some red. Okay, this refuses to go in, and I'm really getting annoyed. It wants to fight me. Oh, there we go. Spend 10 minutes fighting with this brick. Ooh. And that's day 5. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Of course not. But that is day 5. I always add pictures to the Discord too, because I know people either miss streams or like they miss the beginning where I do them, build them. So I always add pictures to the Discord in the Advent channel. Just stick that over there. Normally I don't open the box on stream, but this one I opened ahead of time just to get the books out so I could make sure I had the right book. There are 7 bags, but like I said, I don't know how much out of each bag, like piece-wise, we will use, because there's got to be some you don't use for certain builds. So, ooh, little extra pieces. Four. Bag 6 does not want to come out. Okay, let's move these over here. There we go. Now I can stick all my garbage in that bag, or in that box. So here's the book. And like I said, it's hard to know really like how many pieces of the set will be used, because I'm sure there's bound to be ones that aren't used in this specific set. I forgot to look how many minifigures. Oh, it doesn't say. But it looks like 1, 2, at least 3. It looks like there's at least 3 minifigures. This box just keep wanting to fall over. Yay, more Lego separators. I'm trying to build something with all the Lego separators. I figure I keep getting them. Build something with them too. Okay, no extra pieces. Now, I meant to post yesterday that I was going to start earlier, and that was one of the things that didn't get done on my to-do list. Okay. Looks like we're building 2 minifigures right off the bat. A guy and a girl. There's his body. Come on. This male minifigure has a fair amount of pieces for being just a little minifigure. So legs, body, beard. No double face. Just the one face, and it looks grumpy. Oh, says get your quick balls ready. There's our mail. Shield Maiden also only has one face. A Snow Runt. I think I have a frozen ball. I do. I have quite a few frozen balls. Pokey, catch, frozen ball. Okay, let's see if I can get them on here and it to focus. There you go. There's our 2 minifigures. Sometimes it just needs like a different color on the back to focus. And we also built this little barrel with like 2 gems in it. And then a lid. We'll set that off to the side as well. Oh, now we're building an ox, maybe? Like a cow? I called it. And they did give you an extra beard in the pieces. They used, I don't even know what to call the pieces. But I guess it does aptly look like legs. Okay, now we need the bent antlers. We gotta build the cow head. These little bent antler type things are so smooth, they just like pop right out of your hand. There's our little cow. Okay, now we're diving right in to working on the ship. Yeah. Cute cow, go moo moo. The legs are so weird. There are these little, like, they normally use them as like parts of a torch, but they're little cow legs. Okay, build 2. I hate when I miss that it says build 2 and I just only build 1. Okay. 14 of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Yeah, I didn't want to post in Carrot Stream that I was about to start because I'm not sure if that's rude or not, or I'm not sure about anything. So I was like, I just will start. Okay. It says ads start in about a minute. And I imagine it depends on the person and how well you know that fellow streamer. Some people probably wouldn't care, and others would. So I figured I just won't post. Okay. 2. I'm gonna put those. Yep. That on either side.
The holidays start here at Kroger with a variety of options to celebrate traditions
Oh,
old and
apparently
new. Whether you're making a traditional
they've
roast turkey
decided
or
I needed that. There we go. Okay. 6, 8. Welcome back from ads. If you had ads, I can't keep up anymore who has ads and who doesn't, but I didn't really do anything. This was the exact same on the other side, so let's see. Need one of those. 2 of those. Okay. Okay. Kind of same deal as the other one. I rearranged some of the. Well, I got another bookshelf built, and so I rearranged some of the other Legos I had. so I could get Gringotts on like a top shelf of a rack because it's so fudging tall. And then I moved some others around that I had built and weren't on a shelf at all. But now I need to, I guess, take a picture and put it on in the Discord. I never know, like, am I posting too much, not enough? That's the problem with I hate, or that I. It is. It is like over 2 feet tall. It's crazy. And it's just kind of massive all the way around. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I set up a command for it so I wouldn't have to try to remember. Now we'll just see if it works. Oh, hey, you know why it didn't work? I didn't open my chat. And that's why I didn't hear Kevin! I was running a little behind this morning. So, I forgot all about it. So now we gotta wait for it to open. I like clicked all the, or I thought I went do across the bottom and opened all the things I needed, but I guess I didn't. Or I clicked a different third thing than I normally do. Oh, of course, today it's going to be a slow open. When it finally decides to open, I'll do it. Okay, so click the right thing. This is the end of bag 1. Kind of got the base bottom of the ship. Then we got our 2 peoples, our cow, and our barrel. And it actually used like all except for a couple extra pieces they would give you of that bag. So what is up with you? Oh, there we go. Now it seems to be loading a little bit. I also forgot to start my closed captioning. Apparently today I am not altogether organized as much as I try to be. I also feel like half the time I'm not organized, so. Come on, just open, chatbot. It's having issues. I'll move it over there so I can keep an eye on it. Okay, it says we're building 2 of whatever's next. So I'm going to set this off to the side so I can build 2. I didn't have a Discord before, and then I made one because I had been asked periodically, but I got asked twice in like one stream. So I was like, I guess that is cue to actually make one. Carrot is raiding in. Oh, and a Pokeball soon. Or not a Pokeball, a Pokemon. What the hell? Sableye. I have one of those. I know because I've already traded out a double, so I'm just gonna do regular Pokecatch. And if I get it, I get it. Sorry, that cough caught me off guard. This is what I get for not having it open, like, before stream. Now it doesn't want to open, like, at all. Shout out for the carrot. Oh, it won't work. That's right. My chatbot isn't open. I just talked about that. I will figure my crap out today yet. I will give you a shout out when my things decide to work, Carrot. Apparently, I am not organized or with it today. Rigged, but I can't even post that because this stupid chatbot won't open. It's the, you know, watched pot theory. I want it to open, so now it's going to take forever and a day. When I don't care about it, it opens right up. Welcome in, Carrot, and all your peoples. Feel free to post any links or anything as usual. I didn't want to say anything in your stream because I never know, like, I don't know. There's so much about, like, streamer etiquette I'm not sure about, so. Yeah, so I was like, I don't want to say I'm going to stream in his, so I was like, I'll just go start. And I know I'm earlier than I normally am, but I wanted to make sure I had extra time to work on Kevin's thing. You know, I mean, I'll do two streams, and it's not a big deal. I'm not, like, trying to rush myself or anything, but I figured I'll give myself a little extra time. But like I said, I didn't want to just be like, hey, I'm going to stream. Okay, like I said, I didn't want to, like, I don't know. I never know what to do and what not to do. I didn't want it to be like, I'm gonna stream, you have to stop now so everybody can come watch me. No, that's never what I want. We can both be on at the same time. Oh, okay. I know I meant to fix my stream manager yesterday to say that I was going to start earlier today, you know, like on the schedule thing. But that was one of the things that did not happen. And mainly because my sleep is shite. One day I sleep normal, and the next day, nope, utter shite. And then I'm super tired and I don't get anything done. yay, it opened finally. Okay. Let's try two things. There's the Discord, Kevin. And then let's do a shout out for Carrot. If I can type. And then a rigged because no one caught it.
This whole game is rigged.
Hi, Danny, and a shout out for you too, because I am so disorganized this morning. Okay, I will figure this out yet today. I will show you guys what days 4 and 5, I had to think about what day it was, were in the Advent calendar in just a bit if you want. Yeah, that's correct. I just finished binge watching Young Sheldon, so now I'm gonna start. My husband likes the show too, but he's not like a sit down and watch TV person, so we only watch like a couple episodes a night, like in bed at the end of the night. So it'll probably take weeks to catch up, but that's okay. But we're gonna start watching Loki now that I'm done binge watching Young Sheldon. I was so upset. I was so excited because I kept seeing everywhere, like all over social media, that new episodes of Virgin River had come out. And I love that show. It was 2 holiday episodes, and that was it. I was like, all that fuss for 2 episodes? I mean, don't get me wrong, yay, but it's just 2 episodes. Now I'm pissed and I want 17 more. And if this music is too loud in the background, let me know and I'll turn it down. Did you? Oh, that's exciting. I knew you went, but you never, I wasn't sure what you did or saw, things of that nature. But that's cool. I love that show. I love. He's just so like his personality is like crazy. Like all like the social cues that because of his intelligence he doesn't quite get. And I love soft kitty, warm kitty, little ball of fur. When he's sick, that's all he wants, even from Penny. I think this is gonna be like edges of the ship, on the end. How did your class go last night, Danny? See if I do that right. Not even know what There we go. Are you finding that puzzle easier than, than the one I picked, Carrot? I'm almost back up. I only need like 2,200 or something like that to have enough points to redeem another one. The first time it seems like it takes forever to get there to like have enough points to redeem, and then after that it seems like it happens like super fast. I don't know if that building another puzzle is really like a break or whatever after doing the Razor Crest. Like, if it's, does it feel like long again? You know what I mean? Like two long things back to back. Okay, let's see if I can do this right. Okay, towards it, towards it, towards the back, towards the back. Oh. Even if, as I talked to myself, I still did it wrong. Okay, here we go. I was right. Okay, so this was like basically bag one was this kind of bottom of the ship base. And now we just built like, was it the front and the back. We also built, let me put them in here so I can try to get it to focus. Two Viking minifigures and a cow and a little barrel with some gems in it. But days 4 and 5 were, I'm not quite sure what this is, if it's like supposed to be like a mini house or like a mini shop, but then this is like a fireplace, and this one is part of the bigger like a cottage, and then when you take this one apart and add it to the 5 other days, it is part of the like Santa brickhead, and I will take pictures and add them to the Discord. I don't know if I'm posting too much in the Discord, not enough. I don't understand social media, so. Okay, doesn't say build 2. That makes me sound so old. Like, but truly I don't. Do I have a fastball? I have one fastball. Pokey, catch, fastball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what is an appropriate amount? I don't know. How are your advent calendars coming? Uh, what have you gotten? What else have you gotten in them, Carrot? Because I know you had a jelly bean one, and then the Harry Potter like Lego one. I'm trying to only like the urge to like open it every day is there, but I'm trying to only do it like on stream. But I guess since I'm adding pics to Discord, I could in theory do it every day and just show people. Ooh, I got 9 tails. I don't think I had a 9 tails before. But I don't know. I thought it would be like another way to like kind of break up the stream would be to only do them while I was streaming, but I suppose like anything else there's not a right or wrong way. I know Beauty and the Geek were getting on and doing like mini streams where they would show what they got in theirs that day, like open it and build it. And I know they too had the Harry Potter Lego one, and I want to say they had the Star Wars one too. Don't quote me though, I could be totally wrong. Okay, that's what we built. No steps. Now it wants you to set it aside and do something else. I'm just gonna dump them out. There's not very many left, and there's the ones that are kind of hard to pick up.
You know poop is coming. But you know you have nothing to fear.
You know poop is coming, that's not a
New
lie.
Pampers Swaddlers with blowout barrier helps
I don't know
prevent
what
up to
its deal
100%
is
of
today
leaks,
with
even
all the
blowouts.
like
Fewer
ads
leaks with
wanting to
Pampers
play in it.
Swaddlers. Click or tap the link now to learn more.
I have never identified with an ad more. You know the poop is coming. like a curly Q. That's kind of cool. Then this to this. I skipped a step somewhere. Okay, well, where did those pieces go? Maybe there's something we don't use out of this. Make sure I didn't miss them, though. No. Guess they would probably do that. Maybe. I'm just trying to make sure. I mean, I expected there to be extra pieces that would get used in like one of the other two builds and that weren't to this one, but I also want to make sure I didn't skip any at the same time. Nope, okay. Okay, so now this. See if I can do this correctly. Goes like that. So you can kind of see how it kind of all looks like it comes up. Okay, and these were 2 pieces extra, but like I said, I double checked to make sure I didn't miss them. So those are probably used for one of the other builds, since it's a 3-in-1. Now we are on to bag 3. The Discord link isn't working. I had Steel try it out because I was like, I don't know, you know what I mean? I'm logged in, so when I click it, it's just, you know, gonna show me the same thing. You know what I mean? It's not gonna quite work. Does it give you an error? Or, because when I click it, it takes me to Books Minions, but I'm not sure if it, what kind of thing it's giving you, like an error or make a diamond dot coaster. Of course she did, because she wants another. You were first, but you didn't claim first, Kevin. So now she gets to say she was first, even though she didn't come in till like an hour later. Hello, Fantasy. Nobody had claimed it before you, so you get to choose a new one. I have 4 Pokemon left, or I have some Jack and Sally ones left. These came with a cute little coaster holder too. Fantasy, did you want a Pokemon coaster or a Nightmare Before Christmas coaster? Pokemon, okay, I have yeah. The Fire one, Leafeon, Glaceon, and is it Vespion, the Psychic one or whatever? Oh, where's the part I was looking for? Is that I am in a strange place and I have no access to anything. Oh, that's weird. Okay. Yeah, because I was like, I don't know how to, like share it. Oops, man. Yeah, I don't know. Like, because it doesn't. I don't know. I never know how to share. Oh, here we go. Custom in. Oh, that's what unlock boosting. Listen, that's not what I wanted. Leafeon. Okay, I'm trying to look for a better way than copying and pasting the link that's in my, at the top of the bar. So bear with me. Okay, copy. I think I found it after poking around. Try that, Kevin. And if it works, then I'll change it in the chat box. I think that's right. Because it was like invite a friend, search for friend, or send a server invite link to a friend. I couldn't find that before when I was digging around, but apparently this time I did. Hi, Still. I did have chat rules. It said, be a decent human being or I'll kick you out. Because honestly, the fact that we even need to have rules about basic common decency is ridiculous. Oh, I've not seen that before. I have a frozen ball. Pokecat. frozen ball. How is everybody's day going? Who's new? Who haven't heard me ask that probably twice this stream already. Sometimes I worry I'm repeating myself, but then I'm like, chances are there's probably people that weren't here the first time I asked it, so I've gotten most of my things on my to-do list for today done, which is an improvement over most days. Woohoo! Ugh. I'm sorry. That's a long meeting. Woohoo, Kevin! Yeah, I showed it to you at the end of the stream on Sunday. That's right. Love you too. Hopefully your meeting isn't too boring. Karen, have you tried doing any of your coasters? Like to test it out to see if you even like it? Since you keep saying you bought a ton? Not yet. So, what has everybody been watching on TV? I just finished Sheldon, or Young Sheldon, and was frustrated that there were only 2 new episodes of Virgin River for how much I was seeing it all over my social media. Nobody commented about how there were only 2 new episodes. Um, and we're gonna start watching Loki, but I'll only get to watch like an episode or 2 of that a day with the hubby at nights because he likes that show. So need background noise for during the day. This keeps falling off of my pen. I think that's all of that. Doing this was another reason I wanted to give myself the extra time because I know these get redeemed fairly often. So I wanted to make sure I had a little bit of extra time. Okay, we just have like 3 minutes left on the redeem. I feel like I should add questions like Carrot and Steel have to keep conversation going, but I don't know. I don't know what questions I would ask. Oh, guess what came in the mail yesterday, Carrot? The new plants. I have them in the box to do an unboxing. I didn't open them. The new plant set. I think I need to add more wax to my pen because none of these want to stick. But I won't do that this time. There's not much time left. Anyway. Yeah, my new cacti plant set, whatever it was. I forget how exactly they described them. Came yesterday. Finish this little tiny section and then we'll be done with this redeem time limit. Yeah, I left it so you could enjoy I left it in the box it came in, in the mail, so you could enjoy the unboxing today. Okay, what Pokemon is this? Oh, it's the ant thing. You're fine. I'm just gonna do just a regular Pokecatch on that one. But yes, I brought it in here. Oh, it fell over. So that I could unbox it for you because it's just a tiny box. No, you're fine, Kevin. You do what you need to do. We were just doing that redeem anyway. You haven't really missed anything. Just so that Carrot could get the full experience. They're so cute. Those little plant pots are adorable. That's like half the reason I bought it is because of the cute little plant pots. Okay, we had gotten bag 3 out, but we had not started it, so we'll go back to that. But yes, it came yesterday. I'm super excited. Okay, so I think I'm pretty, at this point, I'm sure ooh, only I caught it. It's rigged. We're hosting Christmas, but on Christmas Eve, which is fine. But I still have not heard back from my sister-in-law about what time they're going to church. So I need to message her this week and be like, any answers? And if she doesn't answer back, be like, okay, then we'll have it at 2, you can come or not come. I don't know if it's just me being irrational, but I hate when you're trying to plan something and there's always that one person or that one couple in the group who never gets back to you in kind of any kind of prompt manner. And so you're still just left waiting around for them to let you know when they can or can't do something. Rude. Oh, that's what I keep meaning to do. Note to self. Rude command. I keep forgetting. Rude sound. I have to make myself notes. I keep thinking of like, I think like throughout the day or something happens, I'm like, I should make that a sound command. And then when I sit down to do it, I'm like, I have no idea what that thing was that I wanted to do now. Oh, Charming Jellyfish is raiding in with 10 people. That's a lot of people. Hi, Charming Jellyfish. Welcome in, first time chatter. Shout out. Charming. There we go. And I'll give you a shout out. Feel free to tell us some about you, like what you stream. Tell us about you. Let me give you a follow. You build Legos too. Well, welcome in. That's primarily. I will learn to talk one day. Primarily what I do as well. Usually like Tuesday and then either Thursday or Friday. It depends on things because I still have tiny human beings in my house, even if they're not so tiny anymore. On school stuff and appointments and whatnot, I have to stream around family mom stuff. So, if I could talk and hunt, that would be great. But I do Lego those during the week, and then my Sunday stream is like a long one, like 5 or 6 hours of Hogwarts Legacy. And I also do like I have a diamond dot redeem, so I build like diamond or do like a diamond dot coaster for like 15 minutes. I have nifty headbands. Fantasy, what do you want? Slow blink, fast blink, or solid? But welcome in, and thank you so much for the raid, and welcome in everybody that came with Charming Jellyfish. No Blinky, okay. I had to find like I love like rock music, but I had to find, free, what is it, copyright free kind. No Blinky, there we go. So about 46. I have some headbands, as you can see, as funness. Yes, I love rock music. Like, I just love all that type of music. And I know there's like whatever you want to call them, apps or whatever that you can incorporate with your stream, but I don't edit my videos. I just do that export thing straight to YouTube, and I worried that it would then violate some kind of copyright on YouTube if I used, because they get so many songs approved, to use in that app or whatever. But I didn't know how that would work when you export it then to something else without editing it. So I just went and found ad-free or copyright-free music on the YouTube tube. I forget who the thingy for this one is. I can put it in chat if you're interested. Let's see. this is the link to this particular one, and like I said, it is copyright free, and I haven't clicked on it like on the person who posted it to see if they have other ones or not. I need to, but it's like 5 hours long, so that covers most. Like because on Sundays, obviously, I don't play music because you want to hear the game sound effects. But this would cover like 5 hours is long enough for okay, fantasy, behave, pay attention in class. Um, like 5 hours is long enough for most streams. For me, anyway, because I don't stream terribly long. So for me, it works. Uh, but it did take me a minute to find one that was like more than half an hour. Yeah, it took me quite a few. Like some of them I clicked on and I was like, "Ooh, I love this," and then I like looked down and it was only a half an hour long. I was like, "That's not gonna work." So it took me a minute to find ones like I said, long enough that you weren't constantly like playing over. And there were some playlists, but I wasn't sure how that would work then. Like ads when you're starting a new video and stuff like that. So I just went with this one. There's a concert this Friday night that I would love to see, but the not great thing. Thank you for the follow, Clockwork Ghosty. Welcome in as a first timer. I've seen you in Carrot's stream before. I think, as long as I'm thinking about the right person and not confusing you with somebody else. That has been known to happen. I'm sorry if I did. What was I saying? Oh, there's a concert this weekend I'd love to see here where we live, not far from here, like maybe half an hour. But it's kind of the way they place the arena is really crappy because there's not really any parking for the arena itself. You have to like all the places, businesses near it, open up their parking lot and charge you to park there. And it's not the best. You wind up walking relatively far because those fill up super fast. So that's annoying. Yeah, and I feel like it's always changing names, from like the Verizon Arena to the whatever, to the whatever, to the whatever, and now I think it's Siemens Arena or something like that. I don't know. But I think maybe that's probably one of the reasons it changes names so often is because like it's not that great. Like, I think they get less people go there because it's not great, like parking wise. Welcome back, Kevin. Eat sugar. Okay. That has the Reese Pieces. All the Reese Pieces. Okay. I think it's gonna be a dragon. Hydrate. This is my cup for today. It's a rainbowy. And even my straw is rainbowy. I do love Reese Pieces. Sorry, my echo just yelled at me. Well, made a noise at me anyway. Yeah, but it's only its echo. Well, technically, it's a show. We have one. We have two shows, one in the kitchen and one here in the office. That way, I can see the Ring doorbell pop up on it because they're connected, uh, and I can see who's coming to the porch. And then we each have a dot in our bedrooms. And then, of course, two fire sticks for the TV. And I didn't realize it yet, but yesterday when a package came, it did like picture in picture on my TV, and it showed me the Ring doorbell footage like on my TV, which was pretty cool. I didn't realize it would do that. It had never done it before, but I think I finally got the settings for the Ring correct, because I kept like people would deliver stuff and I wouldn't get notified. And I'm like, come on, I know I have it on there. But I guess I finally got like the parameters, adjusted correctly so that it would show up. Yeah, I didn't realize it would do that, but it did, and I was excited. Okay, am I not doing some of this right? Oh, I see. I wasn't holding it correctly, that's why I didn't think it was right. It's a dragon. Ah. Let's see if I can get it to focus. There we go. You can kind of see it. Oop, nope, not towards my hand. Yeah, mine, we don't really have it for security so much as I'm convinced that, welcome in, crazy, that people are going to steal my packages. Like I have, like and I don't know, paranoid that somebody's going to steal our packages off the porch. That, and when people try, yeah, a driveway cam, you could do it the same way, use it the same way. I know Ring makes cameras as well. Okay, this is make two again, so I will attempt to make two at the same time. I know they sell different types of cameras. But yes, I also, so it irritates me. We have the Ring doorbell, and I somehow it's happened twice now. Like the guy across the street from us was getting his roof fixed, which is, whatever. But they somehow like got on the porch a different way so they didn't have to ring the or go in front of the ring. And then they didn't press the Ring doorbell, they just knocked on the door. Like, listen, half the reason I have that camera is so I don't have to deal with people at the door I don't want to talk to. And so I opened the door and I was like, can I help you? And they're like, we're fixing the neighbor's roof. And I was like, okay, so why are you on my porch? And why did you avoid my Ring doorbell? That makes you seem sketchy. Please leave. Okay, ads should be done. But yeah, I was like, the fact that you like purposely went around to not be seen by my doorbell makes you very sketchy, and I would like you to get off my porch. Yeah, you don't have to worry about that. When we lived on base in North Dakota, there was one day where I don't know what happened at the gate or if it was a new driver, but they didn't let the UPS man on base. And that means that he probably had some kind of felony or warrant or whatever, but nobody got UPS that day. Oh, because they wanted to sell me a new roof too. And that's what I said made them seem super sketchy. If you were like a reputable business who really wanted my business and for me to get a new roof from you, why would you circumvent my camera so that I didn't see you? But yeah, I was like, why are you on my porch if you're fixing theirs? And they're like, well, have you had anybody check your roof? And I was like, I just moved in June, and part of the buying process, what you get an inspection, and they check the roof as part of the inspection. And he's like, oh, but a second one wouldn't hurt. And I was like, you're right, it wouldn't. Are you going to do it for free? He did not seem impressed with my logic in that situation. He was like, no, ma'am. And I was like, oh, well, in that case, I don't need one. We, right. They checked the roof as part of my inspection. And he's like, a second opinion never hurts. And I'm like, you're right, but you are already trying to sell me stuff, so I don't know if I could trust you. And you circumvented my doorbell. Like, I wasn't, like, you weren't going to get on the doorbell anyway when I opened it. Like, opened the door. But I was like, no, thank you. Unless you're going to do it for free, I'm not interested. You know, they knew I wouldn't open the door if they got on the ring. Like, if I saw them on it first, you know, they knew I wouldn't have opened the door. I would have just talked to them through the doorbell. Let's see. Yep. It's time for these to come off anyway. Let me turn them off so I don't kill the battery. Okay, if I can pick the other ones up without dropping everything. Yeah, but I was like, no thanks. I mean, if you're gonna do it for free, sure. If not, no thank you. You're in your mom's car? Oh, I will I will get it together eventually. Welcome in, Devin. Are you doing anything special with your mom? But yeah, I was like, no thanks. I mean, yeah, a bad storm had come in like later in the same month we moved in, but we had already gone up on the roof and looked, and there wasn't like any damage. So like, I don't know, probably in the same month we moved in. It's January. Like, you mean you won't be able to stream until January, or you'll have to stop streaming in January? But yeah, like, not long after we moved in, and it kind of like, I don't know, because we were military for so long, they have what they call OPSEC, and they like drill it into you to look for certain things that don't make sense or whatever. But not long after we moved in, they claimed to be, what is it, a security system company. I see them all the time now. I can't think of what they're called. My brain. You'll be able to stream in January. Okay, that's cool. Um, but they came, like, I was cleaning and I had the door open and stuff to let like fresh air in because magically that day it wasn't hotter than balls. Uh, but so I opened the screen door and I went out on the porch and I was like, "Can I help you?" And they're like, "Yes." First it seemed like they wanted to sell me security, like the home security system. And then when I said that we had just bought the place and we weren't interested, they were like, "Oh, well, we got to double check the previous owners didn't leave anything in here." Well, thank you, Kevin. But I was like, you were just trying to sell me, and now you're telling me you need to check to see if the previous owners left any equipment. And I was like, wouldn't that be your job when they cancel it to come out and check and pick up all your equipment? And they're like, well, we just need to double check. And I was like, you're not coming in my house. And you need to leave before I call the police. Because this is sketchy. Like, they didn't even have like work ADT. That's what it is. They didn't have like they weren't driving an ADT vehicle, like, you know, like a vehicle from the company with like writing on the side. They didn't have any kind of shirt that said ADT on it. They just had like a clipboard and some lanyards. And I was like, if you think I'm letting you get close enough to see whether your lanyard says you really work for that company or not, you're freaking crazy. Get out of my driveway. I was like, it doesn't make any sense. They were also not impressed with me. Yeah, I was like, no, I'm not letting you get close enough to my door to possibly do God knows what. But it didn't make like any sense that they weren't driving a vehicle with any kind of, even like, you know, like a magnetic door thing. Nothing. I was like, no, thank you. Please get out of my driveway. No. Okay. Book talk. I am pretty much done with this one. I think I only have like 2 chapters left. But in actuality, it's one book with 2 books in it. Whew, that's crazy. I'm not driving that far for anything. No, I just confused myself. Oh, there we go. So yeah, it's called like Holiday Heroes or Heroes for the Holiday, something like that. But it's really 2 books in one book. And so the first book, yeah, there are 2 book talks now. Yes, perfect. You get a 2 for 1. Um, so in the first book, it's kind of these authors have like co-wrote books before together, and so it's like a new series that they're the first book in a new series they're co-writing together. So this girl, I say girl, they also both, I guess really all 3 of these writers, uh, what state do you live in? We live in Arkansas, where it's balls hot most of the year. It's a twofer. Um, but so Her and this boy, because at the time he was a boy, uh, had like a kiss underneath the bleachers, nothing more than a kiss. Um, and then she kind of like freaked out because she was like the nerdy girl, and of course he was not. And so she kind of had like a freak out moment, and so she ran from their kiss. And now it's 30 years later, and she has moved back to town because she grew up there. And sorry, so she has moved back because when, of course, not like relatively close to the time they shared a kiss because that was in high school, but when she met her husband and they got married, they made a deal where she would work and help support him and put him through college. And then when he graduated, it would be her turn to go to college and further her degree, further her education. Of course, that's not at all what happened. Now he became a big shot, and he doesn't have time. She's not good enough anymore, kind of a deal. So they're divorced, and she's got a daughter that's old enough to be out of the house, and she's got this great like internship. And so she moved back when her daughter left for her internship, to where she grew up. And so she bought this cafe, and she's finally at a point with the cafe where it's making some money. It's tight, but she's making some money, you know as it does. It takes time. And she it's like Christmas Eve, and she's pretty much sent everybody home already. It's just there's like an hour left. She doesn't really think anybody's even going to come in. So a Scraggy. I think I have one of these already. So she just figures I'll send everybody home, and chances are I'll go home myself in an hour. So she's doing the normal cleanup stuff, and then these two guys come in who look sketchy. And so she's like on guard. She doesn't want them to know that she's in there alone, right? So she's like, "Welcome to the cafe. Where I can give you coffee and a very limited menu right now because it's only an hour to close. Just let me know what you would like, and I'll have the chef get it for you." You saw Scrappy. I always see Scrappy too at first, and I'm like, no, Scraggy. But so they're like, just coffee, and then they ask her if she's seen this guy, and they show her a picture, and it's the boy that she had a kiss with under the bleachers 30 years ago. Like, she'd recognize him anywhere. He's got like very distinct eyes. And so she's like, no, I've never seen him. I actually just moved to town, so I don't really know anybody. You know, I know very few people, and they're usually just the regulars that come into the cafe. And they're like, what if we don't believe you? And she's like, then I don't know what to tell you because I don't know. I've never seen that guy before. And she's starting to get like nervous because they're not believing her, and she's afraid they're going to get aggressive. And then another guy comes in, and of course, he's dressed all nice compared to them, and he's like kind of got a nicer personality. And the other guys are like, oh, and they quick leave. And she's like, oh, whew. They left because they saw this guy. And so she's like, tells him kind of the same thing. Welcome to the cafe. We're on a limited menu. I can give you coffee and just only certain foods because it's so close to close on Christmas Eve. And he's like, no problem. Coffee's fine. And then he says something that just doesn't jive, almost like he's with those other guys. And she's like, what? No, they just asked me if I knew a guy, and I said no because I don't. And he's like, it's almost like they didn't believe you, or something like that. And she's like, what? Now she wants to get him out of there too. And so she's like, I don't know. You know what? Actually, we're just gonna go ahead and close because it's so close. It's Christmas Eve. We're just gonna close. I decided to close early, and she gets him out of the cafe and does lock up. And then she like waits to make sure that they're gone. Like looking out the windows and stuff to make sure they're not like waiting for her to come out. And so she locks up real quick and she goes and quick gets to her car. There's only one parking space behind the building, so she would notice if anybody else was kind of lurking about. And she gets in her car and she goes to start backing out, and there's somebody in her back seat. And she's freaking out now. And she's like, he's got a gun, and he's like, take me, drive. And she's like, where? And he's like, it doesn't matter where, anywhere. We just need to get out of here before those guys come back. And then she realizes it's the boy in the picture, and the boy she knew all those years ago. And she's like, he probably doesn't even remember me. He was so popular, and I'm just me. And so he lets her know that he does remember her. And she's like, okay, well, why? And he starts to ask her, and she's like, listen, I'm not going to play 20 questions catch up with you while you have a gun on me. And he's like, oh, yeah. And he, like, puts the gun down, and he's like, I didn't really want to, I thought that the previous people had still owned it, and really, I wasn't trying to car check anybody. I just figured the car, being it's Christmas Eve, the car would just stay there. That nobody would be driving it anywhere. And she's like, well, I bought it from the previous owners, obviously. And it is going somewhere. I was going home. And he's like, I need your phone to call my son. And so his son's the sheriff. So he does. He calls his son, and his son won't even really like let him get like a whole sentence out. So he knows something must be up. And so he tells her, oh, I messed up. One too far forward. He tells her that they should go to this place. This cabin that his family owns, kind of in the middle of nowhere-ish. And so that it'll be safe there. And so they start to drive, and then, of course, the bad guys find them. So they're trying to drive faster than the bad guys to get to this kind of area where the cabin is, so that they can ditch the car and walk the rest of the way. And they just barely make it. And of course, then they have to hide a little bit so that they can't follow their tracks. They get to the cabin, they spend the night. She doctors him up a little bit because he had been shot in the arm. And then the next day, they trek back to the car. Because there's not really reception at this cabin because of where it is. And so the son, again, won't really let him get a word in edgewise. They kind of talk in code, and he's like, oh, yeah, that's fantastic. You're trying out that new Airbnb cabin you mentioned? Great. Yeah, that's cool. Kind of a deal, like talking in code. And he's like, well, you have a good holiday there. And we'll see you in the, after Christmas. So they go back to the cabin. And he finds out that his son's put security cameras and stuff around the area with this secret panel in the wall that he found. So he put little, help stabilize it. and keep some of the pieces together on the bottom. So I will eventually figure this out. So then, of course, they stay there all day, and the next morning, the alarm gets tripped, and he's like, "Okay, we have to get out. We can't be sitting ducks, because of course it's a Christmas story. Yeah, it's a Christmas romance, a Christmas protector romance is what they called it." But okay, so all these authors, their characters aren't 20-something-year-olds. They're like people they call it later in life romances. I didn't skip a step somewhere, did I? Nope. Oh, I see. I'm looking at it not the right way. Yeah. So all like because the one author, Janie Crouch, she co-writes in both books, but the authors she co-writes with are different. Um, but yeah, so they write later in life romances, like people in their 30s, 40s, 50s, not 20 somethings fresh out of or barely in college. Uh, but yes, so he tells her that you know he gets her out of the cabin and a little bit of ways away, and he's like, "Listen, we're not going to be able to outrun all of these guys. I want you to take my gun. And I want you to run, straight ahead of you, because of course later in life, yeah, yeah, anything over 20 is later in life. Uh, it's crazy, but yeah, that's how it is. Just like most TV shows. Oh, you're later in life. That means you're over 25. Uh, oh, not that one. So he tells her, I'll distract them. You run and get help. You know, and so she starts to run away, and she's like, I can't leave him. That's ridiculous. So she hears a gunshot, and that really propels her to turn around and start running the other way she went. And let me tell you, it's gonna be a shocker at first, but it's not as bad as you think. So while they were talking at the cabin, she asked, the normal questions like, "Are you married? Do you have kids? Da 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 da." And he says, "I have kids, but his wife is dead. She died of, I want to, oh, she was in an accident. The other one was ovarian cancer. She was just in an accident, but she did die." And she's like, "Oh, so how many did you guys have kids?" And he's like, "Yes, we have 10, but not really 10. They had 3 boys together, and then his brother died, and they took in his 3 boys, so now they're up to 6. Then he took in 2 boys that needed to be adopted, so they were up to 8. And then 2 more boys that just kind of moved in with them, like friends of friends kind of a deal. So he has 10 sons, which is crazy. Even though they're not genetically all his, it's still crazy. Right, so she's running back, and she gets tackled by one of the sons. He's like, "Stop, it's me." And she's like, "You're his son." And he's like, "Yeah, we have it under control." Like, of course, they're all in law enforcement or military in some way, or were previously, I should say, because they're all there now. So, and he was, of course, special forces. So they get the bad guys, and they rescue her, and of course they've fallen in love. the catalyst for a whole new uh 10 more books, which I won't complain about. I will read the whole series eagerly. And then the second book is kind of similar because, as I said, they're both later in life protector romances. Um, okay, I did both those steps. Yes, they're all legally adopted and stuff like that. But they're not all biologically his children. Some are his nephews in reality because he took them in when his brother died and things like that. I think the last two that kind of came and just stayed were over the age of 18 by the time legally read the series. I think the what is it? The closed captioning does not always depict what I'm saying correctly. I said I will gladly read the whole all 10 books. I think it doesn't always translate well. Yeah, I said I will gladly read all 10 books. So the other book in the book. Oh, yeah, no. I thought maybe it was the closed captioning because sometimes what it says is like weird. I will gladly read all 10 books. The second book in the book, um, it's really like the third version of it. So it's called Never Too Late for Love. It's like, again, an old, what they call older protector romance. No, I did do had it right percent. So in the first, like, series of it, run of it, they are one of the islands off of Florida, and they do like 3 or 4 books, and then they move to the Florida Keys, and they did 2 or 3 more books again, or 3 or 4 more books, and so now they are back in the Keys, but at a different place, like at a different one, and so this guy is on holiday with his 4 boys, and he gets a call from this company called the Guardian Agency. They're kind of like private different. How do I want to phrase it? It's like a private detective company, but they offer more than just private detective. Like they'll do some investigating, some private investigation, but they also do like protection if you need a bodyguard, things like that. And so he gets a call from this girl he knows because he is a police officer back in South Carolina. And she's like, I know you're on vacation with your boys, and I wouldn't call unless it was super important. But this lady owns a local bar, and she found a dead body on the back deck. And all our people were like, we don't have any people to spare because of the holiday. And he's like, okay, because she's like, it's just for a day or two, because it's like the 23rd of December. It's like Christmas Eve. And so he's like, yeah, no problem. And originally it would have been a much simpler project, you know, detail, whatever. He gets there, he meets her, he says, let's get you back to your place where we can, be more secure. Like I don't have to worry about it's just one place. And she agrees, and she's like, freaked out because she found a dead body in her bar, on the, because her bar is right on the beach. So, like, somebody just sat up a dead body on her back porch, essentially, of her bar. And that would freak anybody out. And so they get to her place, and he's like, okay, come in, but stay right with me and I'll check the place, because he didn't want to leave her outside unprotected. So, there really wasn't a great option. So he took her in, and they walked, through the living room. He checked all the closets, all the stuff, but went into the kitchen, and then noticed that the back, like the sliding glass door, was open. And he's like, did you leave that open? And she's like, no, I did not. And he's like, okay, let's go. He can't send her out to the car by herself, because that wouldn't be very secure. So, come on, stay on there. So as they're turning to go out, this person, like, comes, like, yells, and he pushes her down so that hopefully she doesn't get hurt. And then he proceeds to fire off a shot, and it goes, like, right over the protector guy's shoulder and slams into the door frame. And he's like, oh, hell no. So he turns around to charge the guy, and the guy just drops the gun, which doesn't make sense. I mean, you have a gun. Why would you drop it? Why wouldn't you just shoot him? And so he tackles the guy. They're scuffling, but he also has to be careful that nothing happens to her. And the guy, like, takes advantage of that and manages to get away. But then, he's like, okay, it's more important that she's safe at this moment than to chase this guy. So he calls in to the Guardian agency, and he's like, he tells them what happens. She's on the phone with 911 already. And so then they arrange for her to get a room at the place. Okay. I'm confusing myself. Oh, here it is. The Cove is the hotel that is kind of like a running theme through all the books, really. Well, I guess not all of the books. It wasn't really in the first series. And so it's easier to protect her there. There's him plus, like, the layers of the security at the hotel. And then his sons get brought in on it. They're not military or anything in any way. They're just, been trained by him. Where are you, piece of Lego? There you are. So they're protecting her now and, like, watching. And of course, there's an instant connection. They want to jump each other's bones. And so, of course, they're trying to. They know who the guy is, but they're trying to find him, and he's connected to drug running, and they can't, like, they have all this CCTV footage that they can use, but they can't ever seem to find him on it. Like, he seems to always be able to avoid it, which is kind of weird. So it makes it a little bit difficult. And so then finally they do catch the guy who tries to kidnap her, like, right off the beach in the back of her bar. And I think it was kind of like a setup. Like, they knew he would be watching, so they had him right, like they had a good idea that the guy was probably waiting because he was getting desperate for whatever it was that he wanted, needed her out of the picture for or whatever. They knew he was getting desperate, so he walked like just a couple steps away, knowing that if the guy was there, he would take that opportunity. And of course he did. And they caught him. But now, like, the main guy in the story is like, it seems too easy. Like, there's got to be something else. Because he made a comment in one of the scuffles about so and so's out of the way now, you can name your price. And it didn't make sense to him. And so now he's got this niggling feeling, like in the back of his head, that as much as it feels like they caught the bad guy and everything's done, that it's not. But it's also not really his case. He was just hired to protect her, not work like the police side of the case. So he's kind of like at a standstill. All he can do is give his opinion to the police. And that's kind of where I'm stopped. But I think they both want something more, something long term. He had lost his wife like 8 years ago to cancer and hasn't really dated since. And she's a single mother, you know. She was young when she had her son. She was dating this man who, when she got pregnant, it turned out was married. Like, she didn't know he was married because she was young and naive. But as soon as she got pregnant, he made her know that in no uncertain terms was he helping with anything because he was married. Put those on wrong. And her parents pretty much cut her off because how could she be so dumb to get involved with a married man? We can't have the stink of that on our family. First, you're a mistress, and now you're a single parent. Like we can't have any of that stink on us. So they promptly were done with her. Like I said, I'm almost done with it, but not completely. I think maybe it might turn out that the case isn't as closed as the police thought it was, and his hunch was right, and or maybe not. But I do think there's gonna be like them getting together part. You could have just had me make 4 of those, Lego. You didn't have to make the same steps exactly twice. Yeah, but Janie Crouch is one of the authors for both of them, and then I want to say Regan Black for one of them, and I forget the other co-author for the other ones. I have to look it up to be like 100% positive. But Janie Crouch, like all her books, are protector romances. Um, she wrote a trilogy called, was it 3? I forget if it was, no, it was 4. So she wrote a San Antonio security series. It's like 4 brothers that were all adopted by this same couple. They opened a security agency, you know, um, together, and it's about how each one of them finds their other half, and of course it's never easy. It's always like a must save them. And then she writes a series called Linear Tactical, which were guys who served in the military together. And when they all got out, and of course they were all special forces of some variety for different branches and whatnot. But when they got out, they all agreed to open this uh, place in Wyoming called Linear Tactical. So they teach self defense and survival skills and like awareness training and all that kind of stuff. Um, but then that spun off to another series called Zodiac Tactical, which were other guys they worked with at different points during their career. You know, just like other guys they had encountered, and they all wound up working for this other guy. Um, and theirs is more private security, bodyguard kind of stuff. Okay, Lego, I'm beginning to get confused. But that is book talk. It was a lot of book talk. And then I'll probably finish that today in the school pickup line. um, then the next book I have to read is. Ooh, caught myself. Where did you put these? Up here. It's like a bookstore. I forget the exact name of it. But of course, it's another holiday romance. Set in a small town. Hallelujah, praise Jesus. Somebody did their job so that you could do your job. Yes. He sent them out like asking for them like over a month ago, maybe even longer than that. People just don't want to do it. Ooh, we got fishies. Like not like aquarium fishies, like they caught fishes. You guessed right, Kevin. Oh, that's right. Got fishies on the boat. Okay. Boop. Move this to the side so I have a little bit of space to open up the next bag. Oh, it escaped. No one caught it. Ooh, we're building 2 more minifigures. Another man and another woman. This doesn't have like the perforated edge on one side and then the other side closed, so need my handy dandy skizzer. See what's in here. Oh, a single rubber band. So we'll set that right there and try not to lose it. Okay. She needs an axe. Again, minifigures are only single-faced. They don't have the two faces like they do sometimes. Okay, legs, body, head, hair. And her axe, legs, body, fur cape, then head. Did I put that on right? Yeah. Then helmet, little Viking horned helmet, and then he has a sword. Let's see if I can get it to focus on them. Not that way. Sometimes I have to like put them on the green background. There we go. Oop, his helmet moved a little bit. So far we have 4 minifigures and a cow. Oh, I think I forgot to give Crazy a shout out when he came in. There we go. Okay, let's see. Nope, I'm on the wrong end. Gotta flip the boat. Nope, that's gonna be wrong. Where did I put the brick separator?
We have always lurked among you.
Okay, fantasy. Oh, why are you gonna be difficult like this? There we go. Is that right? Yes. I'll place it before I press it down this time. Yes. I don't know if anybody else who streams has seen it, like on their little info dashboard, but there's going to be Twitch drops like the 7th through the 17th. So, depending on what kind of games you play. I looked, and of course, the only game I play is Hogwarts Legacy, and it is not one of the games they're doing drops for. So, it won't help me, but there will be other games that are taking part in it. Okay, let's need to relink your account. Yeah, you don't want to miss out. Like, who doesn't love free stuff for playing the game you're already playing? Now we got a mug. Oh, we're making a table so they have somewhere to eat on the ship. Coffee is important. My Hogwarts legacy is linked uh like I guess to get all the things I had to like stream it or connect it multiple ways. Like I had to connect my game account to like the WB games. Yeah, probably me. Um like to my WB account because that's who I guess is really the company that made Hogwarts Legacy, and then I also had to connect it to my Wizarding World account to like get all the things, if that makes sense. It took a minute. Did she redeem it? Oh, sorry, I missed it. Thank you for letting me know, because I missed that one. Oh, I don't need those right now. But yeah, it took a minute to get them all connected correctly or just the right way to get it all. And then it still took a couple times like logging in for it to really still work. Okay. What were we on? I don't remember, so I'll just start a new color. It doesn't matter, they'll all get done eventually. It looks like R. I have packages. Okay. 35, 35.50. But if you do like this set, I put a link to Amazon. Of course, that's my affiliate account, so I would make money if you bought it. Or I think I would. I don't even know anymore. Um, it it took a minute to find this set. I had Lego didn't have it, and then I went to Target, and they were like the Target website, and it said they were sold out of it. Walmart had it on their website, but it cost more than Amazon. So I don't know if they're getting ready to retire this set or whatever, but it was a little bit harder to find than average. Like it wasn't like the first store, which I know sounds kind of weird, but usually like everywhere has it. So the fact that some places were out of it, either it's popular because it's around Christmas, and so some places are out. The rowboat version. I mean, per Lego, it wasn't that bad. It was like $111, which I know is still a lot of money, but really, per how much Legos cost, it wasn't that bad. And it was also a 3-in-1, so that kind of. But yes, if anybody was interested, there is a link. Okay, you're not sticking. Did you get the Discord to work, Kevin? I don't know if I missed it or if you didn't say, but I didn't know if that other link worked for you. Yeah, in Canadian it would be crazy. heard that people who live close to the American border will have like a PO box in America, and they'll just drive over the border to like the closest post office, pick up their stuff, and then drive back, like once a week or whatever. Okay, I'm glad that worked for you then on Discord. The link, I mean. Yeah, I've heard that before. I was like, I don't know how true it is, because you know, any the chances of things you read on the internet being true are slim for the most part. But I was like, I wouldn't like completely discredit that. Because I've seen like, you know, like on the back of books and stuff where they're like, it's $10 in American money and like 20 in Canadian dollars. Maybe that much difference, but you know, it's always a difference. Ooh, Pokemon soon. And I know when we lived in North Dakota, you'd see Canadian license plates all the time. They'd come down and buy booze and stuff and then take it back. You'd see them at Sam's Club doing these big, huge runs. Yeah, you'd see them at Sam's Club doing these big, huge runs. Like loading the cars up. I don't like keep up with a lot of stuff. So are you guys in Canada having the same kind of like inflation problem that we're having here? Or no? I know that's kind of like a silly question, but I don't really keep up. I know they were talking about like the price of seed and stuff was just ridiculous, and they like want to be able to come on your like videos, you know, on TikTok and stuff about like farmers here in the state saying that it's crazy because only like really one or two companies own the rights to the seed, and then they want to be able to come on your farm and test and make sure that you're not, you know, like basically let the wind from the farm next to you didn't blow their crop onto your farm and stuff like that. Like, it's crazy. The one guy was like, you want to see what $16,000 a seed looks like? And then he opened this shed storage area and he's like, it's not a lot, is it? The disparity in the dollar amounts, that makes sense. I mean, it's just crazy. And I know me and Carrot were talking about it the other day that like Target and a lot of places didn't do as well on Black Friday as they normally do or were hoping they would do And some of it is because of inflation. Like, people just don't even have enough money to kind of do that. And second of all, there was a lot of like videos of people. They would say like Black Friday deal, right? And it would have that special display photo, picture, whatever tag, and they would move the tag, and it was like the same price normally, or only like $20 cheaper, and they were making it seem like it was crazy amounts of cheaper. So now they're stuck with like a lot of stock. Right. Yeah. But it's just crazy. Like how much everything costs is just kind of crazy. And I kept seeing it like the memes or whatever going around, and people are like, Dear Walmart, Target, Sam's Club, Sears, listing all the big stores. Everybody has a TV. Put your groceries on sale. You'll see the mad rush. You mark down those groceries. We have about 5 minutes left on this redeem. And of course, since it's December, the great debate memes of going around of whether she's probably old enough. If there's any children in here, I'm sorry. The great debate of the Santa presents. Do you put Santa's name on the most expensive gift or on the mittens and the hat? Because that makes it fair for everybody. Listen, Timmy's mom, I don't have enough money for a PlayStation 5 on the regular. Not that my kid got one. But I'm going to put Santa's name on the most expensive gift. You can do what you want with my kid, but I don't want them thinking I have that much money all the time. But that's always the great debate around Christmas. Don't do that. One kid whose parents can't afford it is their kid, when they go back to school, is gonna think Santa didn't like them because they didn't get those expensive items. Listen, I feel for you, but I also don't want my kid thinking I have that much money. Because I don't. I save up all year for that expensive gift, put little bits here and there away to be able to afford it. But it is the great debate. For me, it's not really a debate. You do what you want in your house, I'll do what I want in my house. And we'll all just get along fine as long as you don't try to tell each other we're doing it wrong. I always feel like I see it a million times during December. Like every year, it's the same one shared like over and over. Yeah. I'm like, what if you're Jewish? Santa doesn't come then. I mean, that kind of goes with everything. Not just raising kids or what you put from who, but just in general. Listen, like, we all parent different and we all live our lives differently. Like, can we just agree to disagree? You don't have to not like the other person anymore. You don't have to not talk to them, and you don't have to convince them that your way is better. Just agree to disagree and move on. Right. Right. Like, listen, I get it that not everybody can afford big, expensive things at Christmas, and that's why I put there from the big man. That way, you know, and other people put for like the same reason because they can. They just put their name on the big ticket items, and both, neither is wrong. It's wrong when you start trying to tell other people how to do it. And I mean, that's a lot of parenting in general or life in general, like vegans. Listen, you don't eat meat and you let me eat meat and we're all get along just fine. Religion's the same way. You believe what you believe and I'll believe what I believe and we can all get along just fine. We don't have to not like each other because of it. I'll be fine until you start trying to tell me what I'm doing is wrong or that I have to do it a certain way. Then we're gonna have problems. Okay, blast this last bead and then we'll go back to building. This is how it's looking so far. The plastic covering over top of the beads doesn't help with the glare. But it protects the still sticky pieces that I haven't done anything on yet. Okay, back to the ship. Okay, I did that. I think I was finding those pieces. 2 of each. I think that's right. Yep. Ooh, I think we're building like a little roof covering for our table. Protection from the rain. Oh, I'm looking for black. They're not black, they're gray. Sometimes the color difference between how it's printed in the book and what the color the actual Legos are is quite annoying. And I'm sure you guys have heard me say that like 5 million times. Okay. This. Then these are the ends. Yeah, I think somewhere along the way we forgot that it's okay to disagree with people and still be friends or at least cordial. Like everything's my way or the highway. Or at least I feel like a large part of society has forgotten that. Okay, a ton of these. Even though they split it up into 3 sets, it's still a ton of the same piece. 3, 4, 8, 10, 14, 18, 19, 20. I have cheeseburger soup in the crockett pot. I love cheeseburger soup. And then I bought biscuits to make with it. Quick balls at the ready. What do we got? Obama Snow. I wonder what he is. You... Pokey catch. If I can spell frozen ball. Right, like hardly anything is this way or that way. Like there's just so much in between. Yeah, it seems to be this way or that way. And what a lot of people forget or seem to have forgotten is that you can disagree with somebody and still communicate. Like, you can have a discussion. You can even still be friends with somebody if they feel a different way than you. You don't have to, it doesn't have to be one way or the other. And a lot of stuff, people feel a little bit about it both ways. Like, you know, like they're not all one side or the other. They kind of are in the middle. But that seems to not be a thing anymore. You either have to fully agree with me or you don't agree with me at all and you're the enemy. But that's not how it is. Ooh, you caught it too, Kevin. Okay. Got a little roof for our table. Okay, I'm going to set it to the side again because it has me working on something else, like a piece to then attach. So, this way. I think my only like thing where I'm like, nope, is vaccination. Like, if you don't vaccinate your kids, I can't let them play with mine. I think that's my only like hard and fast no. My kids are not vaccinated for COVID or the flu, but you know, Hep C, polio, they're vaccinated for what I feel are all the big things. And we were friends with this one couple, and then we found out when they had, the serpent is part of the boat one. Yep. We were friends with them, and then when they had their last kid, she's like, "We're not going to vaccinate this one." I was like, "Oh, then my kids can't play with your kids anymore. I'm sorry." You are free to make your choice, but in response to your choice, this is my choice because I can't do it. I think that's my only hard and fast. Everything else, I'm like, okay, it's your kid. Do what you want. And even then, I'm like, I'm not telling you you're wrong. It is your choice to do it or not do it. I can't hang out with you anymore. Yeah, the other, so the serpent and the boat are this build. The other build is like, I would say like a main hall, and then it has the same cow, uh, almost like he's pulling something, like a tiller, like an old school tiller, and then it has like a dragon, like a mini dragon with it, and the third one is like a big huge dire wolf with like a tree on like a little ground piece. Ooh, here's that rubber band. Okay, we're gonna take this like this and put it here. Oh, this is so cool. It like slingshots forward. We're gonna have some kind of artillery on our ship. This, then this, then this, then I guess this. Okay. Here, then this, then this, and that piece, this piece, and this piece. Into here. Set down for a second. So that can't be right. And I was right, it wasn't right. Right? Like, who done like a big old boom? So yeah, you can, like, I don't know how this is gonna work in theory, but you can see it pulls back and then slaps forward. So, put this. Oh, look it, you can turn it. It's gonna tell us how it works in just a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I'll show you in a second. Well, maybe not show you, but tell you, because I don't want to have to go hunt this brick. So you line these all up here like in the front of the ship, so they're waiting to be fired. Then you stick the little tubey one inside, and here we'll do it this way. Ah, it fell out. Okay, don't be me and drop it and then can't pick it up. Dang it! Okay, listen. There we go. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Okay, so you pull this back, and then it pops out. So you stick the little nugget brick in the front, and then you pull this back, and like a slingshot, you sling it forward. I would do it, but I don't want to have to go hunt for this brick. So that's how it's looking so far. No top flaggy mask thingy. Okay. Oh, where did? Oh no, I remember where those were used. Yes. Okay, now that our boat is a lot done, I'm gonna stick our minifigures so they don't wander around. If I can do it. It's too far down in her hand and keeps hitting the brick below it. Set our cow in there too. Almost set this here for now. We might have to move it later or move something later, but there's something. I think this will probably be the last bag for the boat, and then bag 7 will probably be the serpent. But that is just my guess. I could be wrong. Why couldn't you just tell me to make 2 Lego? Sometimes I wonder, like, this could have all been 1 step. You didn't have to make it 2. Welcome home and welcome back. Hopefully you had a productive trip with your mom? Okay, so we're gonna make the sail now. So I'm gonna set that aside because there's gonna be many steps. Slaughtered. Okay. Give me 1 second. 2. 3. 4. Eat sugar and hydrate. Man, all of the things. Okay. Let me make sure I had it pushed up on the back so it would be easy, but of course it always falls down, so. And now I think it's underneath my chair, kind of. I'll see who's on. I can't make any promises. It depends on who's on and things like that. Okay. And it also depends on if he's on when I get off. Because I'm not staying on till 3 o'clock because I have to be in the pickup line before that. Okay, eat sugar. And hydrate. I don't know how good peanut butter is going to taste with pineapple juice, though. I have to pick up my kids from school. They used to take the bus home, but since the youngest hurt his knee, I've just been picking them up. Plus, like I explained it before, they used to have to stay on the bus for an hour. Like their bus ride home was an hour long, and that's a long time when it's hot or cold. They're both teenagers, but I don't trust anybody as far as I can throw them. 5 and 4. 4 and 5. Good. I have a 9th grader and a 7th grader. And despite how close we live to the school, their bus ride home is still an hour because they're last picked up and last dropped off. So, how long have you been dating for, Devin? I'm happy you found somebody that you like. Okay, flip. Okay. See if come on. There we go. Across the top. Down the other side. At least, so almost 3 months. I'm happy it's working out for you. One, 2, 3. And 3. Then 6. And 6. 7, 8, 9, and 10. And then just 8 and 10. So, 2 of each, starting with red undergarment. Yeah, I have noticed that lately that some of them seem to be more expensive, and I wonder if it's because maybe they're not technically being sold by Lego, if maybe it's a third party seller. Like somebody bought a bunch of them off Lego and then put them on Amazon, and at that point they can basically charge whatever they want. Um, I wonder if that's some of the reason. But I have noticed that lately. Yeah, because I know on a lot of stuff, especially the pricey stuff, they put like you could only buy two, and especially on pre-orders, they're like sometimes you can only buy one or two as a pre-order. But I do find that a lot of Legos, as they come out to Amazon, are costing more because like more than they would on Lego themselves, and I'm wondering if that's what it is that like third party sellers are doing it. I can't say for sure because I haven't looked, like at the where it says who the seller is, but I'm wondering if that is some of it. Okay, that's not gonna work, self. Oh, okay. We'll figure out these. Okay. There's the big wow, it exploded. That's crazy. Like, was it like an accident or did somebody help it explode? I was worried that was going to be harder to get on there. Lighting fireworks in the Dollar Tree, like in the parking lot, or like in the store, because that's crazy. Like, people, there's a time and place for things. Ooh, we got flippers, like swimming flippers. I wonder how they're gonna make that look, or what they're gonna look like used in the set. But they're swimming flippers, like a diver would wear. And they don't want to be picked up. Ooh, that's crazy. That's like, what is wrong with people? There is a time and a place for things. First of all, you should never light fireworks inside any building. Least of all, a Dollar General. Those places are packed. Like, there's so much stuff in those stores. Well, I'm glad your house wasn't collateral damage. They're birdies. The flippers made birdie wings. and blew it up. That's crazy. They're like crows. Oh, I love it. I will show you a. I'll try to get the camera to focus on them in just a moment. Let me build the second one. And then I usually have to get this to focus. Our little birdies. Yes, I've had a panini sandwich before. They're good. Okay. We're gonna put our birdies on the top. It's an attempted murder. Because there's only 2 of them. Or is that 1? I guess this could be a murder. There's 2. I did. I talked about the book for a long time because it was actually 2 books in 1 book. I talked about it for a long time. Oh, I'm looking for something that I already pulled it out. Well, the stream is going good. Okay, let me stick that on there and then I'll show you. Kinda, it's the, well, I guess I don't have to roll back. It's the, a little flag on top. Let's see. Oh, we're gonna make shields. Let's see. What was the book I read before that one, since I talked about both of them that were in that book? I gotta think. What did I read? Let me look it up now because I can't remember. I can't remember the book I read before that one. Like, I remember them all, but I can't remember specifically which one it was. It might have been Snowbound. Oh, wrong button. Yes, it was Snowbound, by Freya Barker. That's the name of the author. So in this book, this lady, wrong place, wrong time, right? She was at her job, minding her business, and she went to go take garbage out, to like the big dumpster behind the place. Because she's a chef, and it was like closing, so everybody helps, you pitch in. And or maybe she went to take a break or something. Either way, she went out to go into the back alley, and the place next to the restaurant was, like just a building. It had several different businesses in it, but it also had an accountant type place in it, like bookkeeping. And so she witnessed this cartel leader person take out shoot the accountant guy who worked next door. Like, his office was next door. Because apparently he was keeping books for the mob, but got tired of it, and he was going to tell the police to get a deal himself. Obviously, they couldn't let that happen, so he was unalived, and she saw it, which put her in danger, and that the cartel mob person blew up her house. Of course, she was meant to be in it, but she wasn't. So now she's in witness protection, and she's going to testify. And so she has been at this one location for a while, the safe house. And, it rotates. People come, the U.S. Marshals, they take turns. And somehow the mafia people, cartel people, whatever they are, it's really all the same, just different locations depending on what you call them. um, found out she was there, so somebody was sent to kill her there under witness protection. And so they he told her to hide, in their designated hiding place. And he went and he told her that he had called backup. So, so that she would know. And she was getting nervous because it was taking a while. And she was like, I'm just a sitting duck. If he gets shot, they're just going to come find me. So she decides she's going to get out her little hidey hole and she's going to escape herself. Even if it's cold out and she don't really got proper attire on, she's going to make it. It's better than being captured. So she's just getting like the garage door open and stepping through when she's grabbed, and she's like, oh great, I'm a dumbass, I got out of my hiding space and now I'm definitely gonna die. But it's just really another one of the guys who was protected, like on her rotation of protectors guys. And he grabs her and he's like, we gotta go, we gotta get out of here. And she's like, don't you have to go back and help Mike? And he's like, no, my first priority is assisting you, getting you to safety. I have already called the police and they're on their way. Just let me get you to safety. And so she does. She gets in the car with them and they take off. He tells her to stay in the back and stay down, so this way nobody will notice her, in the car if they've got other people on the road or looking out. And so they stop. They get like pretty far from where she was originally, and they stop at like a Walmart because you need supplies. Okay, I'll show you what these look like after I get them attached to the boat. Okay, get the boat turned right. And so she hides, the whole time he's in the store, and he comes out with stuff and gets back in the car, and he makes some phone calls because he can't trust, like he has no clue how her location was found out, right? So he has to be careful who he talks to, what he says, all that kind of stuff. So he calls a buddy who owns a resort, like a ski resort, and asks if he can stay in one of their older, like, employee cabins. And the guy's like, sure. You want to tell me why? And he's like, I can't talk about stuff, and he's like, clear, you're on the job, no problem. He's like, I'd offer to send somebody up there, but that would defeat the purpose because the more people who know, the worse it is, right? Like, you want very little people to know that you're there. So there are 4 of the shields, and here's the other 4. All we have left is the serpent, but I won't be able to get it done in time before I have to get off. So on Thursday, I will finish the set and then we'll move on to another one. But so he gets her into the cabin just fine, great, they spend the night in the cabin, and the next day they are making breakfast and whatnot. Yes, I will. When I finish out Thursday, when I start, I'll have the village out with the boat next to it so you can see them together. I know what I'm doing, maybe, kind of, sort of. That's what I was doing. So, they're trying stuff, and then they hear this really weird noise. And he goes, get in the bedroom, get down. It's an avalanche. And they're in like an older cabin, like high up on the hill, and nobody really knows they're there, right? Except for like this one friend. So they're like, oh crap, we're stuck. And he's like, stay here. Once it calms down, he tells her to stay kind of there. Like, don't move or anything because don't move because I don't know how bad the snow, like how bad it affected the place. And it turns out like it caved in the whole part past the bedroom where he had taken her to like hide her while it was happening, while the avalanche was happening, you know, like and so now they're like, crap, now they have to like tunnel out of there. So he's like, well, the guy who owns the place knows we're here, but how fast he can get somebody up here, I don't know, because I have no idea what the conditions are everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like how bad the avalanche was and whatnot. So they um so they stay there, and kind of she falls asleep, and when she wakes up she notices that she's alone now. He managed to like kind of tunnel a little bit without making things worse, and so she follows the same path he does, and when she sticks her head up, a bullet comes like flying by, and she notices him like down in the brush, and he's been shot, but now he's crawling towards her, blood leaking, whatever. And of course, she goes to go back down, and the snow on either side of the tunnel caves in. So now he's like frantically trying to dig her out, and everything. And it turns out other people had realized, like, were already on their way to save them or to rescue them. So they helped take care of the bad guy, and they helped dig her out. And she thought the whole time that he didn't like her, you know, because he was so moody and standoffish anytime it was his time to be on duty. Turns out it was quite the opposite. He was really interested in her and didn't want to, like, but like, this is his job, you know, he can't mess things up. His job is to protect her, not to seduce her. But of course, things change when they're in that cabin by themselves. They had a little sexy time. And so now she's in now the FBI has taken her and him to the hospital, and the FBI has taken over her protection detail, because obviously somebody's infiltrated the marshals, even if it's only like her case. So they won't tell her anything about him, nothing. And she's not having that. She's like, I'm not going to testify if you won't tell me like his condition and whatnot. Listen, luck only lasts so long. It needs more than her just being there. He needs to pull his weight too. Anyway, so of course they send a guy to tell her what is going on with him. And then he shows up at her trial on the last day and is like, I want us to have a forever, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, she's not on the field. She's not a player. She can only bring so much luck standing in the stands. Okay, we can go to the raid. The Yellow Witch is on. So we can check her out. What did it say she was doing? Oh, she's building Legos. She's doing the Battle of Hogwarts. Even better. But yes. So Thursday, I will have the Viking village here, and you can see it next to the ship, and we'll finish the serpent, and then we can move on to a Christmas build. But we got a lot done today. And I started like an hour earlier than or a little bit earlier than I normally do, to help give us that cushion. But I will do days 6 and 7 of the Advent calendar then on Thursday as well. I'm glad you are happy with your redeem, Kevin. But yeah, we'll finish the serpent, and I'll have the other one out here to compare it to, like to see it together. And then we'll move on to another start a Christmas build after that, and we'll have days 6 and 7 of the Advent calendar, and then Sunday is Hogwarts as usual. But I'm glad that you enjoyed your redeem, Kevin, and that it went well. Okay, let's head over to the Yellow Witch.